All right, guys, how we doing? Good morning. Good morning, guys. Good morning to all the early guys. Mark, thank you for being the hype man of the chat. Appreciate you. Thanks for always getting the likes up, getting people to get to press the likes. So thank you so much, Mark. But everyone else, thanks for being here. Mozam, Jabberwocky over here, GT Vine, Ben, Big Oof, Breadman, Rosal or Rosa L. Morning, guys. Chef Joe, of course. Chef Joe's probably an upstart right now. JJ, of course. JJ always the first one here. Shout out to you, JJ. Marty. So, good morning, guys. How we doing? December 9th. Thursday, December 9th. So, yesterday, pretty muted day, very stock specific day yesterday, which was interesting to see. But sort of what I talked about yesterday, or what I was thinking in my mind was, yesterday showed times where we could have broke down. There was definitely areas where we could have broke down yesterday, but it continued to hold a very key 16,250 level. And I'll show you that, guys. I'll show you that today, guys, on the Nasdaq. We just continued to bounce off a very key level. And when I started to see us really hold that support level intraday, I just felt like the market was going to consolidate for most of the day and probably hold up. Now, that was my gut feeling, because I felt like that support to the downside was pretty strong. And I'm not, when I see consolidation, I'm always going to be on the bullish side, because there was, very good opportunity for the market to really fall yesterday under key levels, and it did not. So I trusted that we were holding up. I trusted that, the market was trying to find support at some previous key levels to the downside, which I'll show you in today's video. It's going to look very clean. It's a very clean level that it held. So as of right now, I am very happy to see that hold yesterday. However, we still have some very, very heavy resistance to the upside that continues to reject. So we're sort of stuck in a little bit of a range again up here near 16,400, which is also on the ES is about all-time highs. It's like 40, what is it? What is it on the ES? The ES is right around this 4,700 area, which is just a really tough area. So we're holding up. We held up most of Tuesday's move, which is pretty astonishing to see that we held up most of Tuesday's move yesterday. I thought we were going to probably see a nice little pullback to give back some of those gains, but we held up pretty strong. So as of right now, I continue to be pretty bullish here, but we can't be blind to the fact that there is some very, very heavy resistance to the upside on the Nasdaq. Very heavy. So let's go ahead and do this today. Let's take a look at the market. Let's take a look at the futures, the earnings calendar. Today we're gonna have jobless claims. All right, jobless claims every Thursday. So we'll see what jobless claims do to this market. That's on the economic calendar today. And then we have some earnings. We had some earnings yesterday. We had Restoration Hardware. We had GameStop. We had Udemy, UiPath. Today, we have that Chewy, Lululemon, Costco, Oracle. Some going to be some interesting earnings today as well. So let's go ahead and start this out. I have a new feature today for you guys on when we get to the charts, so you guys are going to enjoy that. I'll show you in a second. And that is a big shout out to, or when we get into it, I'll shout him out. Let me get his name here. He DM'd me on Instagram. Create254 on Instagram. Kingsley, if you're here, thank you so much for your recommendation. And that is I'll just show it to you now, right? So can you guys see Can you see this ticker up here better for everyone that's always talking about how they can't see the ticker? Is that better? How's that look for you? Is it clean? Maybe I can move it a little bit. But yeah, so now you can see, hopefully that's a little bit more clear for you. I know it's much bigger, so hopefully that helps. You can see as we go through the charts, you will be able to see what ticker we are currently on. I might have to move that. Maybe I'll move it a little bit, just so it's not so much in the way. Maybe up there. How's that? Finally. So shout out to Kingsley create.254 on Instagram. All right. Awesome. So here's the schedule. Here is the schedule today. Yeah, now it's the whole screen's going to be the ticker, just the whole ticker. Now you can't look at the chart. So here we go. Futures, as always. You know that we do that every time, right? Don't complain about the font. Font's not right. Nasdaq, ES, RTY, Dow. We'll look at all of them. Earnings, economic calendars. We'll look at those in the morning, real quick. We got Roblox. Congratulations, guys. Roblox, just awesome. If anyone took that with me from the Discord, or if anyone took that after me talking about it every single day on the live streams, congratulations. An absolutely awesome break of a flag yesterday through a key 120 level, and just continuing even in the pre-market today. Awesome move. I'm in it. I'm in some Januaries. Very happy. Big day for it yesterday. So Roblox, we'll take a look at it. Awesome day. Tesla, I still love this move. I'm in Tesla calls. You guys know that. And I'm going to hold it because I still like the move that's going on. The pre-markets are always a little choppy for Tesla. We've been getting a little bit of pullbacks in the pre-markets, but we haven't really seen that Tesla gap up yet, which stinks because I love being part of a Tesla gap up. It's always a very lucrative time. We haven't gotten that Tesla gap up in the pre-market yet, which is unfortunate. But a very strong close on Tesla yesterday. Grinded higher for about from around 11 a.m. Eastern till close, up to around 1072. I love the setup. I'm in very, very early. When did I got in this thing? Like at 10. I think I got in the 10. Yeah, like the 1030s. 1035, I think, is where I got in. So we're up about $30 a share since my entry. It's a little bit of a slow grind right now. But I still see a very nice chart. So I'm going to continue to hold. I'll show you guys what I'm looking at. Upstart tries for 200 yesterday. Got a little bit of rejection off the 200. But Upstart, I love the risk to reward on some longer term contracts. And that's something I'm very interested in. So Upstart, I'm going to see what it does near 200. Let's take a look at Upstart today. Affirm holds 107. So the reason I like to look at Upstart and Affirm together is because we've seen in the past these things like to move with each other. It's not so much of a correlation with their businesses, but sort of a similar sector, I guess you call it fintech. I don't know if it's really fintech, but I guess you can consider it fintech. So that fintech sector, if they move together, Upstart and Affirm always like to sort of move together. So I'm watching those two together, and a very nice hold on 107 on Affirm. Roku announced some news yesterday that they're continuing their partnership with YouTube. Stock got a big push higher. I participated in it, actually up very, very nicely on it. And we're going to look at it today again, see if this thing can continue. Facebook really strong yesterday. One of the strongest stocks, probably besides Apple and Roku, but one of the strongest stocks yesterday, and definitely worth watching. I'm not in it. You guys know I took my loss. I guess I was just a little bit early on this one, but Facebook still is something that I would be watching to see if it can break out. PayPal, Square, comebacks, two stocks that probably are worth watching here, guys. I mean, I know PayPal and Square have been getting wrecked, but at some point there's going to be probably a tradable bounce. It looks like you're starting to get that. So we're going to take a look at that. And then finally, Docusign, gap fill. Docusign, you guys lost almost 50% off earnings, 50% of the stock price off earnings, which is just astonishing. So there's a huge gap on the daily chart, monster gap. And if we get into that, there could be some opportunity to the upside. So I think it's worth watching. So we'll look at Docusign. And then finally, guys, if you are a member of the YouTube channel, there's a join button down below if you are not. If you join, you can put a ticker in the Google Docs today, and we will go ahead and look at that. So far we have Costco, Square, which we're already going to look at, Zoom, Nvidia, PayPal, we'll look at that as well, and then Netflix. So we have those from the members. If you are a member, go to the members channel, the community channel on my YouTube, and there will be a link for you to put in your tickers. So let's get started. First, let's look at the economic calendar. Today, jobless claims at 8:30. Let's see what happens. Too late to get in Roku. God, there's a running joke. There's a running joke in my Discord of us sort of, I don't want to say trolling, but having a sort of kindly making fun to, like, when people ask, is it too late to do this, or is it, should I do this, or should I buy it here? And that the reason the reason we do that is because our chat does not believe in people following each other. That's something that we do not do. Some people may that are in the chat, they may follow me. I can't really control that, but that is definitely not something that I encourage or I like to push. I don't like people following. I want you to look at charts yourself. I want you to understand the analysis that I may provide. And I want you to do what you're going to do. I want you to learn why I do things or why other people do things. You should not just follow. So we always say, is it too late to get in Roku? Because Roku has been a stock that has cursed me for this year. I've lost a few times on Roku. I got to be honest. I think it's gonna pay me back this time. So we'll see. But anyways, 8:30 jobless claims, 10 o'clock wholesale inventories, 12 o'clock noon. Real household wealth. I don't really think these will have much effect, but the jobless claims, we'll see how that affects today at 8:30, and then tomorrow, core inflation, consumer price index, CPI data at 8:30. So that's what we'll look at tomorrow. So that's the economic calendar. Earnings calendar. Pull that up for you guys real quick. I know we look at it every time, but I figure it's a good way to just remind ourselves of what earnings are coming out and make sure that we are aware of what's going on. No, I usually only trade large caps. So yesterday was GameStop, Restoration Hardware, UiPath. I think RH went up a lot. We can look at it. This morning, Arhas. If you guys, the only reason I recognize that is because there's one next to in the city I live, and it's an extremely nice furniture place. I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, if you buy something from there, you're not leaving that store with less than $10,000 in furniture, which is just insane. So I go there to look. I don't buy anything there, but it's nice to look. Lululemon today, after hours, Chewy, Costco, Broadcom, Oracle, Vail Resorts. You guys know in Colorado, Vail. So we'll see what happens today. I'm not playing in any earnings. But there you go. Those earnings are today. So make sure you're aware of that if you're in any of those positions. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and get started. Nasdaq. All right, here we go. So, as you guys know, the Nasdaq clearly bounced off 15.7, the level that we've been watching. Let me delete some of this, clean this up a little bit. So, you guys know we bounced off 15.7. That was very clean. 50 SMA, September highs, perfect. Perfect bounce. Huge day on Tuesday. A little bit of consolidation here on Wednesday. What happens today? Do we see the pullback today? This level up here around 16.4 is very heavy. It's a very heavy level. So, it's a little bit of a concerning level because if you see, let's go to the 4 hour. You can see how many times we've rejected off here, guys. We can't ignore this. This is a very tough level. And I think if we get through it, I think that sets you off for a big move to the upside. But as of right now, it's not showing that it's going to get through. So right now, you guys can see this. There is absolutely no reason to be surprised if this market falls today. or in the future, because this is a very, very tough level. So we need to be aware of it. You don't panic. You don't sell everything. You don't short the entire market because you find some resistance here. You don't take the extremist move. You need to understand that it's there, and you need to watch and see how this market reacts to it. I wouldn't wake up this morning and say, hey, there's resistance, I'm putting my entire portfolio in put options. That's not how you play something like this. Of course, that could pay off, and maybe you get a huge move and you make a lot of money, but you could easily do this. It could be a huge bull trap, and this thing could spike right through resistance, and you will be out your entire portfolio. So you have to be careful here. This is an area where you just need to monitor how this market reacts. And, it's clear. It's clear that the resistance is there. I'm not going to be scared of it, but I'm going to understand that if I see the market fall today or even into next week, if we just continue to consolidate here like we did, say, between this Thursday and this Thursday for about a week, then I say, you know what? I understand why that happened. It makes sense. This is nothing that's, concerning to me. It's just a very heavy resistance level, and we have to see when we can get through it. So there's resistance. It's very clear. This is the one thing I'd watch, guys, to see whether this market is going to be bullish or bearish, and that is if we hold yesterday's lows. Holding yesterday's lows is the key. It's right around this 16,250, right around here. 16,250, guys, today. If we hold 16,250, then I think this market stays bullish. If we hold 16,250 today, I believe this market stays bullish. Why do I say that? Because this is a low. If we make a higher low today, let's say we bounce, let's say we move down to like 16.3, find some support, and then bounce off of that, then yes, I think it's bullish. And because you're making higher lows over consecutive days. So if you hold 16,250 today, which is yesterday's low, and that's also the support level from back on Tuesday, then I think this market holds up today. If you start to see this, and you start to see something like this, then of course, that's not good. That is something that, will probably cause the downside. So I think that is your line in the sand today, guys. That is what you should be watching. If you are interested in trading today, you should be watching 16,250 on the Nasdaq. That is your line in the sand. It's right there. It's very clear. And if you guys are in the Discord chat, you know that we called out this level yesterday to see if it could hold as support. Why did I call out that level yesterday in the Discord chat? Because we have these previous levels right here this is from Tuesday into Wednesday. And the fact that we even held that level makes me very, very bullish. You can see how we pulled back to that level on Tuesday close, sort of wicked down into this 250 area, had a big bounce off of it. Yesterday, we pulled back, found a very clean bottom at that level, and ended up moving higher off of it. So, 16,250, it's very clear. If we move over, we can see that if we hold this level today, then I think you have to remain bullish, right? If you hold this level today, I think you have to remain bullish. If you break down, if you try to retest it, and you fail it, and you move lower, then yes, that is your sign for downside, and that would just be us rejecting off this very tough resistance. So that's what I'm looking at today, guys. It's a very easy to understand move because there's only two outcomes here, guys. There's only two ways I would take a trade, in my opinion. If we break the 250, you play the downside. If we break above this resistance, you probably unleash some very nice upsides. Do you want to be trading in this sideways action? Me personally, I do not. I do not want to trade in this sideways action. So yesterday, there were some exceptions because there were some very nice stock-specific moves, which we saw yesterday. Roblox, Roku, Apple, very nice stock-specific move. Tesla did okay. So there were definitely some stock-specific moves yesterday, but for the most part, the overall market was very, very flat yesterday. And, I would personally want to trade this or maybe even trade that, the breakdown or the breakout. That's what I'd be waiting for. you can get very easily caught up in trading in this chop, and you can very easily overtrade yourself into losing a lot of money. So that's the Nasdaq, guys. 16,250 to the downside, key support. That's what I'd watch. All right. ES, daily chart. It's very similar, except we're at all-time highs on the SPY. Well, we're trying to break all-time highs, but it's a very similar type of chart, right? So you can see on the 4-hour, you can see it's just a very, very heavy level. A very, very heavy level. So right here, extremely, extremely heavy level up here at 47.15 area. 47.15 right up in here. You can see how we have been rejecting off this level multiple times. Right there. Multiple times, rejecting off the level. Could we see some downside? Absolutely. Where could I see us moving back down to? We could take maybe these highs right here around 46.67. Or if we zoom in a little bit more, let's go to 5 minute. So that 46.67 that I just put the line out for, let me go ahead and zoom out. It actually perfectly correlates to that pullback on Tuesday. Look at that. Damn. All right, so you guys see this level right here? See where I'm taking it from on your screen? Right up here at these previous highs. I'm going to draw a box here. I'm going to zoom in, but don't forget, that's where this level is. This level is coming from this previous high, back from the 29th of November. So let me go ahead and zoom in now. Now, where is this green box coming from? It's coming from that November high, or that November level. Look at where we bounced off of on Wednesday. It is an absolutely perfect bounce off that level. So this area is pretty legit. You can see right here, this 46.67, right in this green zone that we just drew. Perfect bounce off of it Tuesday. Wednesday, we didn't quite get back to it, so we held a higher low. And then today, what occurs, right? So I would be watching both this previous low. You guys can see it comes from Tuesday into Wednesday. You can actually draw that all the way over. Tuesday into Wednesday, 46.70. And then the big level, 46.67. See if those hold today. You can see that the S&P is basically the same as the Nasdaq, just in a little bit of consolidation. Do we break out or do we break down today? That is a question that I cannot answer. I cannot read the future. But what I can tell you is that if we break these levels, you'll probably get some selling pressure. If you hold these levels, you'll probably see this buying pressure continue to try to push us through this resistance. So that's the ES. YM. Let's go to the 4-hour. So I'm thinking on the YM, we get a pullback to previous, to this 35.50. That's what I'm looking for. You guys can see this was previous resistance. You guys can see from back there. And I think we'll do a little break and retest here. So let's see. Does the YM pull back and retest this 35.50? If it does, I think you hold. And I think you bounce off of it. So a little bit of consolidation and then a higher high. That's what I'd be looking for on the YM, guys. What's that level on the ES? The first one is yesterday's low, which is 46.70 right here. 46.70. And then the next one is 46.67. Those are the two levels. That's 46.70 is Wednesday's low. And then the hourly chart, you can clearly see it right here. Look at this. Look at this high right here. 46.67. Very clear. Double top. Found support. If you come back into that, I'm going to assume you find some support there again. So those are the levels I'd watch. Whoops. Not going to all products. We did YM. Quickly go to RTY. Daily charts. I don't know, guys. I'll continue to say the same thing over and over again. I'm not interested in small caps. I don't like trading in a channel like this. It's very difficult to know, like, what are you basing your decision off here to tell me which direction this goes? I just can't do it. So I'm not going to try to tell you where this goes. You're in a channel. You're right in the smack in the middle of the channel. So where this goes is anyone's best guess, in my opinion. So I'm not sure. That's the Russell. LKE Mall, thank you. Or IKE Mall, not sure. Thank you for becoming a priority member. I appreciate that. All right, so that's the futures, guys. To wrap up the futures, to give you a an overview, or a summary. Today is a day of question. Today is a day of finding whether we break out or break down. And do you want to be in the crosshairs? Or do you want to be the early one and not, before we have a real direction today? I don't think you want to be. So be careful. Be careful, where this goes. This could easily, if we break yesterday's lows, downside. If we break above that high, then upside. But I think you want to just watch those levels on the futures and make sure you get a feel for where this market wants to go. So with that said, this is Roblox. This is the 4-hour chart on Roblox. And you guys can see yesterday we broke out of this flag, and it's absolutely awesome. I love it. I posted my not a clean flag. Okay. All right. Well, it's pretty clean to me. But anyways, so 1, 2, nice little clean flag here, in my opinion, on the 4-hour. Nice little bottom here around 110. Looks like we started to break out of it yesterday on a very nice push, very nice big candle breakout. That's what you like to see right there, a very strong candle on the breakout, a little bit of continuation. So, does Roblox continue out of this flag breakout? We'll see, but I really like it. I got on this at the I got in at the 120 break with some January calls. All out here in the Discord chat. Roblox January 21st 130 call for 870. Just showing how I like the inverse head and shoulders, the retest at 110, and the bull flag breakout. So not only do we have the bull flag breakout, not only do we have the 110 support, but the inverse head and shoulders is what I really like to see here. So what you can see here on the hourly chart, you can see a right shoulder, head, and left shoulder. I really liked when I saw that. That's very clean action right there. A nice hold at 110 and a bull flag breakout. So everything about that was just was perfect, in my opinion. And I had to take it. When I see something like that, you have to take it. So there it is in the Discord, calling out all my trades. Got in there at 11:17 a.m. So that was 11:17 was when we broke around that 120 level, I believe. 11:17 was right at that 120 break is where I started to get in, because I was looking at that 120, and that was a very key level. We got through it. We're continuing higher. I love this setup. I love the daily chart. I love the 4-hour. And when I like a long-term time frame setup, I usually will take it, because I like trading off the longer-term time frames. I do not like trading off, I don't take setups off the 1-minute chart. I take setups off the 4-hour because they're more easily you can trust them easier, because they are solid setups, and, that's what I like. So Roblox, absolutely awesome. Congratulations to anyone that took that. I've been talking about Roblox. I've been talking about this flag for about a week now. So congrats to anyone that took it. Very, very nice trade. Tesla, I'm watching this flag as well. So Tesla, I really like this. I'm in a Tesla call. I'm up slightly on it. The theta's been, not great, because you guys know Tesla theta's pretty high, and the stock has not moved that much in Tesla terms. Maybe a few percentages. I think maybe it's probably moved about, what is that? It's probably moved maybe 1% since I bought it. 10%'s 100. Yeah, just about 1 or 2% since I bought it. So not the biggest move so far, but I will say, I like this. I like this hold at 1,000. 1, 2, 3, 4. I really like this hold on 1,000. And I want to try to play off of it. So I took some calls around the 1030 level, looking for a continuation into this sort of void on this flag. I'm looking to see if Tesla wants to push up into this downtrend. I'm not that concerned about this down if we reject off of it, because if I start to see us into it, that's probably where I take my profits. But I'm looking to see if Tesla can continue higher. Now, there is some resistance that I am being a little bit cautious of. So you can see right in this area, we have some pretty nasty resistance in this 1080, 1075 level. And that's why I wanted to see us get into that 1080 level and see how we react, because I think that's going to be a little bit dangerous up here around this 1080. So I want to see how Tesla reacts up here. We'll see if it can get up to the 1080. If not, I'll close this out for break even or a small loss if it doesn't work out. But right now, I'm happy with the trade. Nice $1,000 hold. Nice rebound off of it. Let's see if we can get through 1080. That's going to be big. I think if the Nasdaq gets through that, those highs, that is what's going to cause Tesla to really get going. So I think we're going to need some Nasdaq participation, a little, overall market participation. Even, as you guys know, even SPY. So that would be what I think helps Tesla through these levels. I think just a little bit of market participation. So that's what I'm looking for today. Hopefully that happens. If not, we'll see what happens. We'll see if we reject that 1080 or not. But Tesla looks good. Just watch out for that 1080. Upstart. So Upstart yesterday, here's yesterday's chart. You can see we attempted to push into that 200 level. The TOS sometimes doesn't let me zoom in. But nice little hold in the morning, push higher, almost up to 200. Starting to give back some today. I'm not that concerned about that. But I don't know what is the please and thank you about. Anyways, so you have Upstart, and this is why I'm interested in it, because here is 8:30. Yeah, we just got. Let me go over Upstart and we'll look at the futures. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Nice little hold here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Upstart. That's why I'm interested. I'm looking to see if it holds this uptrend. So I'm just keeping an eye on this. I'm not that intrigued to take it just yet with any type of size. I'm in a very small contract. If you guys are in the chat, you know that. But I'm still a little bit cautious of some of these resistance points. So you can see you still have maybe some resistance here. Definitely going to be some resistance up here for sure in this area. So there's definitely still some stair steps to break out of, because this could just be a little bit of a push higher and a rejection, right? Which sort of looks like what could be occurring right now. You can see right here. So we'll see. A little bit of rejection on Upstart. I think you need to see it over 200 before I get really interested. That's what I'd be watching. However, on the daily chart, you can see it is a very nice little potential trend hold that I would be watching. All right, jobless claims are out. What's going on in the futures? A little bit of downside. Nothing crazy. I saw the Evergrande, whatever, default today. I'm not paying attention to it. I'm just gonna watch what the market does. You guys, I know sometimes I get a little bit of heat for this, but I just don't like paying attention to that stuff. I know I'll know what happens. Like, I know what's happening, but I'm not gonna I'm not gonna go crazy about it, guys. I'm not gonna go sell my shares because Evergrande defaulted, or I'm not gonna sell my potential swing trades because of a default from that Chinese company. It's just, I like to keep a very, very level-headed mind when I trade. I don't like to take in too much. I like to focus on what I'm looking at on these candlesticks, and that's really about it. I'll understand what's going on at times, but I'm not worried about COVID. Absolutely not. That's just fear. That's just fear they're trying to push into your head. Evergrande maybe causes some problems because of the default. We'll keep an eye on that. But yeah, that's just, I am not someone to hypothesize that the market's going to tank because some crazy reasons that the media is pushing. Not something that I'm going to get into. That's not, I'm not going to, you're never going to see me make a video about the next market crash is here. It's not me, guys. So if you want that type of hysteria, or that type of whatever you want to call it, then go somewhere else, because that's not me. So anyways, Nasdaq not really doing much off that news. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But yeah, right now nothing much on the futures. Off of jobless claims. All right, Affirm. Yeah. Affirm daily chart. So this is what I'm looking at on Affirm. You guys can see we held 107 pretty well. We held 107 pretty well. You can see it right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nice hold at 107. Does this continue? It definitely could. You still have some pretty tough levels ahead that I would be careful of. So let me show you those. Go to the 4 hour. Let me zoom in here. All right, so here's the next level that I'd be careful of, guys, on Affirm. If you're in it, be very careful of this. Be careful of this. Be careful of this. And be careful of all of this right here around this 131, 130 level. So I think you need to be very careful up here around this 130, 131. That is definitely a potential spot for resistance. It would also sort of come in right around this downtrend. So is Affirm ready to go higher? Possibly. You're going to need something big here. You're going to need a break of 131, I think. I probably won't touch this until I start to see this breakout. If I see Affirm engulf all of this price action, maybe a little retest, and then really start to get going, that's something I'd be interested. But this one's not something that I want to sort of get my feet wet on right now. It's a little bit dangerous here. This could just be a little dead cat bounce. Could reject here at this 131. So I'd be a little bit careful. Is there a gap on Affirm? I don't really see a gap here. I mean, it sort of filled this one, not much. I mean, it could maybe come down to 92 or even this one, but guys, gaps don't have to be filled there's no guarantee that gaps get filled over what period, right? This gap could get filled in 5 years. There's nothing saying that this gap has to be filled in a certain time. So yeah, I mean, you definitely could fill it, but I'm not too worried about that right now. I think this 131 level, I think the big breakout on Affirm is here at 140. If you get over this level, you engulf all of this price action. You can see all of this price action would get engulfed if you get over this 140. So that's what I'd be watching. That would be my time where I'm interested. Right now, a little bit early, I think, to take a shot. But I will say you have that nice 107 hold. That is something to at least keep an eye out for. All right, Roku. So, big turnaround yesterday on Roku, right? Big turnaround on Roku yesterday. And why did that happen? That happened because you had a little bit of news about them continuing their partnership with Google. And that was actually potentially going to be going away, which is not good for Roku, right? So, there's the move was there, and it could be a little bit overreaction. It could be a little bit of overhype to the upside. It's totally possible, but it's definitely a change in something. It's a change in sentiment. It's some type of a change in trend here for this much. Look at this volume that came in yesterday. So I am in it in a small play. I'm just gonna, put very small risk on the table. It's literally like I think it's like 0.5% or 0.3% of my portfolio. It's very small. It's like what did I get into it with? $330. So it's an extremely small risk for my portfolio. And, I want to see if I can maybe catch something here. We'll see what happens. It's definitely it's up nicely because of the day Roku had yesterday, but we'll see if that continues. We'll see if we can continue pushing higher. I think the next resistance comes in pretty heavy here around 294. You guys can see right here, 294. Oh, damn, you bought 325 calls on Monday? Jesus, nice, Shadow. Wow. That's sweet. So 1, 2, 3 support. Excuse me. You guys can see 1, 2, 3, nice support there on Roku will turn into resistance. So if we start to push into this 294, you will definitely find some resistance in this area. So watch out for that. Now, if we go out to the weekly, we can look at what Roku's doing here on the weekly. We can see it's a very, very sad chart, right? And overall, it's a big move higher, a little bit of a double bottom, double top, and a big move lower. We didn't quite get back to, I would have loved to see us get back to this. That would have been a very nice potential place to grab some Roku. You can see right here at this 174. That would have been a very nice hold. However, we got this news a little early, right? So nice push. 100 SMA on the weekly chart is right at 257. So we're actually right there at the 100 SMA on the weekly chart. What happens there at 257? That would be interesting. 100 SMA on the weekly. We're right at that this morning. And then, of course, this heavy resistance at 294. Those are the two levels that I would watch. 294 and 257, 100 SMA on the weekly. That's what I would watch. And today we'll just have to see if that Roku continues. It was very strong yesterday. Nice little hold in the pre-market. Yeah. So that's Roku. Those are the resistance levels I'm keeping an eye out for. You can see it right here. Triple bottom support should turn into resistance to the upside, in my opinion. So watch out for that 294. All right. Facebook. So big double bottom. Very nice. Big double bottom right here. You guys can see it. I had some Facebook calls back in this area. Or I'm sorry. I took them. Yeah, I took them back in late October. Had a nice move. Was up very nicely. Very profitable. And gave back a lot of the profits when we started to break down here, right? So you guys know that if you stay tuned to my channel. You know that I had to take my loss on Facebook due to this very massive move to the downside. Now, I didn't want to hold on to it because I've been in drawdown on those things, just sitting in those things for about a month, and I felt that it was time for me just to cut it and move forward and find better opportunities, which I am actually happy I did because I traded Apple, made about, I made more than what I lost on Facebook back on Apple. And that's just a testament to risk management and managing your position sizes, guys. And that's so important in my opinion. So I took my loss on Facebook, came right back, didn't let that loss bring me down emotionally because I knew what I was looking at was a decent setup. It just did not work out. So I took my loss on Facebook, came right back with a strong move like Apple, made $2,500 on Apple, totally wiping out any of the losses that I took on Facebook. And now I have my buying power and I can continue to look at future opportunities. So sometimes, guys, it's just when something is no longer looking good to you, and this breakdown of this trend just no longer looked good to me. I didn't want to continue to trick myself into saying, oh, this still maybe looks okay. Oh, maybe I should hold this because maybe this is still okay. Whatever, blah, blah, blah. I think, why didn't I hedge my Facebook position? Because I don't like, that's too much. You take my loss, doesn't look good, I take my loss. I don't like to overcomplicate my trading. I take a position with a certain idea, with a certain risk, with a certain technical idea that I'm looking at. If it doesn't work out, I take my loss, I look for another opportunity, and I make it back because my losses are sometimes pretty small. If you hedge your position with puts, you can very easily lose in both directions. I do not get into that. Some people like to trade both directions with a single stock, single position, and I've came into many scenarios in my past when trading where I'll have a call option to the upside, and I'll try to hedge it with the put, and then the stock goes higher, and I'm losing more money net by taking that put option than just cutting a loss and looking for a new opportunity. I've had that happen to me countless times, and it is not a fun time. When you're playing a certain direction, you try to hedge it with puts, and you start losing because you're starting to lose on both sides, and you're just getting yourself into just a overwhelming, very decision-making time. And I don't know how many people trade like this, guys, but I do not like having to make decisions. I don't like making decisions. So I don't like to have to decide, oh, do I sell this now, and do I save my put here, and do I now sell against this put, and do I have to sell my put back now, and do I buy here? And it's just so much, and it makes you way too it's just way too much to think about, guys, and you have to try to simplify your trading. In my opinion, when I simplified my trading, it was a life-changing thing. I used to try to get in multiple positions, take quick moves, take scalps here and there, put here, call there. This looks bad, let me take this here. Throwing positions all around. And when I stepped back and I looked at long-term technicals, when I looked back and just found setups that I like on a daily chart, on a 4-hour chart, and took one position with risk management and didn't have to take, and there was days where I didn't have to make decisions. I can just monitor the trade. That has helped me tremendously. Now, that may not be for everyone. But when I stepped back, looked at the daily, looked at the 4-hour, took a position, monitored it over multiple days, didn't have to touch my trading account for multiple days, just watching a trade work out, that's trading to me, because it's less risk, it's less stress, it's less micromanagement, and I think that for me personally, guys, that's my style. So if you don't like it, so be it. There's no reason to question other people's strategies. So yeah, if you don't like my strategy, then so be it. I'm not going to question your strategy, but that is why I don't do that. All right, so let's go ahead and continue. So Facebook, I'm not in it, but 308, 310, I like the double bottom. Could be worth watching, but I would like to see this downtrend. That downtrend's wrong. Hold on, guys. Sorry about that. I would like to see sort of this type of downtrend breakout. Something here. I need to see a break here. I need to see a breakout here. Maybe out of this downtrend. All right. That's Facebook. PayPal Square. PayPal and Square. So we have, this is PayPal. So we have this little curl that's starting to occur on PayPal. You can see it's starting to break above the 20 SMA on the daily chart. You can see right here, you're starting to break above that 20 SMA on the daily chart. And that's interesting to me. Is this starting to try to push higher over this 20 SMA? This is what I'd be watching. Right here is this level. This is the level that I want to see it over. And if that happens, then I think I'm get a little bit more interested. So a push higher over 202. You guys can see that right here. 202.50. If we start to push higher over that level, then that would be something that I would be looking at, right? 202.50, previous lows. If we break higher over previous lows, maybe hold up and push higher, that would be interesting to me. So right there, 202.50 on PayPal, that's something that I want to look at if that breaks out. And then Square would be right around this 206.50. So very similar, guys, very similar charts. I need to see it start making higher highs before I am. Your way of trading sounds like a way of life. Tired of gambling. Yeah, man. I mean, that's when when you slow down. It's when you slow down. When you slow down and just look at real setups, that's really changed my trading. I got to be honest. So nice push higher into 206. That's what I would like to see on Square. I think if you get over that 206, then you break out of this little down. You could start to potentially break out of this downtrend. I think you need to wait. I know some of you guys want to be heroes, and buy the bottom and catch the whole move. But I think you want to see some of these breakouts occur before jumping in. So that's Square. Because you never know, guys. These things can pull back in an instant. And finally, Docusign. All I really have to say about Docusign is there's a humongous gap on the daily chart. The high of this candle is 155.40. 155.40, which is right there. If you break over 155.40, then you're in this gap. And what happens in this gap is anyone's guess. This could be a very quick move. If we fill this gap, this is almost 40%, 33% to the upside. So yeah, I would watch Docusign for sure. Someone reminded me in the chat this morning. Thank you for reminding me. Docusign, if you get over this 155.40, I think you could potentially see some very nice action in this gap fill. So I would watch that today, guys. Docusign. All right. That's what I had. We're going to have to go really quick over some of the stuff you guys want to look at. But if you guys could, real quick, press that like button for me. We got about 900 people in here. So if you guys want to help me out, press that like button. Support the channel. That would be greatly, greatly appreciated. If you could maybe, exit out of the chat if you're on mobile. Press like, or just scroll down if you're on your computer. Thank you guys so much for that. All right, so we got some. We're gonna have to go real quick, guys. I apologize to anyone that put their tickers in today. I gotta go. Actually, you know what? There's some that I'm gonna delete because we already went over them. We went over PayPal. All right, that's it. All right, let's go quick. Costco. I think Costco days might be starting to slow down a little bit. This was a huge move on Costco. Would be very, obviously I'd love to see this continue, but this was a monster move for Costco. 24% was a very nice time. I would start to look for a little bit of a flag pattern to form here on Costco. That's a very nice potential flag. That's what I'd be watching on Costco. So I got to go quick. That's what I'd watch on Costco. Amazon's just sort of stuck at this previous resistance, so I would wait to see it get over there, right? You guys can see 1, 2, 3. Watch for that break over Amazon PA. That's what I'd watch. Zoom. Zoom. I haven't looked at Zoom in a while, but you can see the reversal is trying. If I go to the 4 hour, you can see I would be watching. Let me get this chart to zoom in here. I would be watching these lows right around here. So right where we are right now is what I'd be watching here, guys, on Zoom. So you can see if you can get over this 198.200, then you make a higher high, and you're breaking these previous lows. I would want to see that first to see if that can continue. 200, see if it can get over that. That's what I'd watch for. NVIDIA. NVIDIA is basically a carbon copy of the Nasdaq, guys. So just watch the Nasdaq on NVIDIA. You can see that it just continues to do exactly what the Nasdaq's doing. It's like the same chart. So if Nasdaq gets over that resistance, NVIDIA is going to as well. That's what I'd watch. Netflix. Netflix held our 615 level. You can see it right there. That's one of our stair-stepping levels. The next level of potential resistance is up here around 645. So you need to be careful around that 645. Palantir. Guys, Palantir just not really done much at all, ever. Maybe you trade. Yeah, I mean, maybe this is a tradable opportunity off these lows. Very possible. Right around here, around 18. Very possible to see Palantir just trade back higher into this channel. So if you're looking for a channel trade, Palantir could be a good time. It's much better than buying it up here at 27. So if that's what you're looking at, then yeah, channel trade. Love Disney. I think Disney's a great long-term play. This dropped a little bit too much in my opinion. I own shares. This dropped 20%. I'll continue to own shares. Weekly chart. Looks like you're finding some support at these previous levels. You can see from back here, right around this 145. If you get back above this 150s, this previous high here, I think Disney at least tries to come back into around this 170 level. Probably rejects off 170, but I would assume you try to bounce into that, maybe find previous support as resistance. That's probably what I'd be looking for. All right. ADP. Nice little pullback. Nice little pullback. It looks like a pretty illiquid stock, ADP. So I'm not sure, but maybe you get a little bit of a flag here This is a tough one. It's a little bit of a pullback. I would just probably watch to see if it can get above these previous highs, right around this 236. See if it can get above that. Finally, Home Depot, and then I got to get out of here, guys. Home Depot struggled a little bit out of this flag. What I would look for is to see if it can retest this, see if it can retest the flag and hold it as support. That's probably what I'd be looking for. So this is a little bit of a hard one to trade now, because you broke out of the flag, which could have been a nice trade, but now you don't know whether this is going to try to hold up here or not, right? So if we go to the hourly chart, let me go to the hourly chart and see. Yeah, so that's what I'd, yeah, this is pretty clear. Look at this. Yeah, 409. You actually have that in the chat. 409 on Home Depot. You can see all these previous highs. Look to see if it holds there. Maybe a little break and retest, right? So look to see if it holds this 409. If it holds 409, then maybe you get your bounce off of it. Nice little previous resistance turning into support. That could be very nice, actually. All right, guys. Thank you so much. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. I hope you guys have a good trading day. It's going to be a very questionable day. It's going to be a questionable whether we are able to break above that Nasdaq resistance. Let's get a quick update on that. Where are we at? All right, so we're still there. It's still pretty heavy resistance. I think as long as we hold yesterday's lows, guys, I think we're okay. If we hold yesterday's lows, I think we're okay. If we do not, then I think you get that downside pressure. So that's what I'll have to say to you guys today. All right, press that like button for me, guys. Help me get to 500 likes, 600 likes. That would be awesome. If everyone here just pressed the like button, we'd be at 800, but not everyone likes it, so it is what it is. Thank you guys so much. I hope you enjoy the streams. I hope you enjoy the content I put out. I work hard at it. I'm just waiting for that day where we continue to grow and continue to grow. We grow at a good pace on the channel, but, of course, I strive for more. So I think the only way to get there is just continue and continue and continue to work. We have to continue to work. We have to continue to put in, the necessary hours, and that goes for anything in life, right, guys? So put in the necessary hours, continue to grind, guys. If you're out there grinding, hopefully, things eventually pay off, right? That's what we all strive for. So, and it goes with trading. Stay in the game, keep grinding. It's never done. You're never done learning. I'm not perfect. I am not a great perfect trader. I guess you could say I'm a profitable trader. Over the last 3 years, I've been profitable. So sure, that's great. It's not life-changing money. I still don't consider myself, a great trader. I learn stuff every day. I continue to improve myself. If you're there, you can never, I don't think you can ever accept that, you can never be content, in my opinion. I'm never content with what I'm doing. I always want to strive for more, and hopefully you guys are the same. If that sort of goes with your style, then I hope to see you. I hope to see you here on the live streams. Let's stay disciplined. Let's stay level-headed. Let's stay smart, and let's keep coming back to the live streams. Thank you guys so much. Have a great day. I'll see you in the next one.